Welcome back to another podcast.
In low.
It's been a bit since we've been on here.
Yes, we missed last week just because, you know, everybody needs a little break here and there. So, took half the week off. I mean, we still put out that vlog on Tuesday, whatever it was. And we actually recorded something for Thursday. I just never got around to editing it just because I didn't feel like it. And then we just never recorded the podcast. So, yeah, just laziness. But we're back to it and it's lit.
Mm-hmm. Um, if you hear puppy snoring, this guy is being an old man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but he is snoring quite loud. Um, yeah, I don't know. Every day that passes, the more and more he snores like a 56-year-old man who just got done with a long day of cutting grass. I mean, to be fair, he does eat a lot of grass, so kind of goes hand in hand there. But yeah, it's really funny. I can't wait till he's older and it's just ungodly amounts of snoring. That'll be so funny.
Yeah, he's been getting bigger since we got him.
Why you sound so dead?
I'm tired
Tired from what?
dealing with his ass all day.
Complain about it.
I just did.
No, that's it. That's the end of your complaint.
Yeah, I mean it's the same routine every day. He gets up, he goes to the bathroom, he eats, he goes to sleep, he plays, and that's it. You just repeat that like 10 times a day.
Sounds fun to me.
Yet you complain every time that you have to take him out whenever you are home.
No, I don't really complain. I mostly complain to him because it happens a lot with me that I'll take him out and then he goes out there and it's like, all right, buddy, let's go potty. And then instead, he just decides he wants to chew on the leash, try to chew on my leg, chew on the grass. And then it's just like we never end up, he never goes pee. So then I'm like, all right, buddy, let's just go inside. And then not 5 minutes later, he's complaining that he needs to go back outside again. So then I take him outside and then he decides to pee or poop or whatever he needs to do. I'm like, dude, I just took you out. Like,
Yeah,
why didn't you do that before?
I do that all day.
Yeah. So I'm not really complaining about dealing with whatever he's doing. It's just mostly like, why is he being that way? I don't care though. Like, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, he's just a pain. I hate taking him outside. That's like the one thing that I hate during this whole thing.
Why?
He's just annoying.
Other than
You
that, I mean,
can't you can't take him outside and he just pees. First of all, it takes him like 20 minutes to even find a freaking spot to go pee.
no, it takes him 20 minutes to find him a spot to poop.
Well, same thing. Because you're out there for like 25, 30 minutes because this kid doesn't know where to poop. And the place that he does want to poop is in the very far back corner of our backyard. He has all this space, all this land, but he refuses unless he's in a bush in the corner somewhere. Or if you're like forcing him and you don't let him go out, then he'll just find a spot because then the poop just starts coming out. Which is what I did this morning because I was not going all the way back there. I just held him onto the leash and just waited for him because I saw it coming. I knew he was going to go. So I just didn't let him walk any further. And it just started happening. So we actually only spent probably like 10 minutes outside this morning. It was a quick pee as soon as we stepped out the door, got him to the yard. He dropped a dookie. And then 2 seconds later, he peed again. I said, all right, go back inside. I'm tired.
It sounds efficient. Sounds like it worked. So,
Yeah, that was the one time that it worked since we've had him. Out of the like 50 times that you have to take him outside a day.
just keep doing that. Should be fine.
Well, that's only because that's the first one in the morning. He goes 8 hours of not doing anything. So yeah, he's ready to go as soon as you plop him on that grass.
Yeah.
But yeah, taking him outside is not my favorite part of the day.
I enjoy it. I mean, even if he does that thing where it's like he needs to go outside, then he does nothing, then he goes back 2 minutes later and then goes for it. Like, I don't care. It's something else to do around the house. It gets you outside. Like, I'm happy to go outside. We don't get like without him, we don't really ever leave the house or even like get to experience our own yard. So we have all this land. I want to experience it as much as possible, and he allows us to do that. So I have no complaints. Just he can be stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty much been our life so far for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then throughout the week, obviously, I'm at work all day, so she deals with it. And then on the weekend, I'm just up and at 'em, and I'll deal with it. So I'd say pretty good co-parenting. Training is going well. Uh, he has sit down as long as like he's not super energetic and has the zoomies. Uh, lay down, it's pretty spotty. I mean, he'll have good streaks, and then I mean, kind of the same thing. When he's too energetic, he'll just everything goes out the window at that point. And then in the backyard, I've been working on like recalling him, like just running across the yard and then coming. He's doing good with that. Um, yeah, I'd say things are going pretty well. It's just when he gets the zoomies, it can be a little troubling. But I mean, that's with any puppy. I'm sure if you're a listener or a watcher and you have a dog or have had a dog, you get it. So yeah, not that big of a deal. I'm having fun. I enjoy it. He's precious. Oh, he's getting big. So cute. We took a or Vianney took a picture of me and him. He was in my lap when we went to Starbucks on Sunday. And like when we looked back at the or was it Saturday?
Yeah. What are the days? I don't know.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. When we looked back at the picture, we were both like, "What the fuck?" Like, we've only had him 2 weeks, and he's grown that much. Like, he looked massive in my lap, and he looks like such a badass. It's so cool.
Yeah, he's going on 10.5 weeks now at this point.
Yep, yep.
He's getting pretty chunky.
He's gonna be a big boy. It's exciting.
No, I don't want a big dog. He's already a chunky boy.
I mean, he's not gonna be a big dog. He's just gonna be
No,
like
he's
a
just gonna
bulky
be
dog.
fat. Yeah, exactly.
Not like fat bulky, like a good bulky.
He's gonna be scary looking,
Yeah,
basically.
it's gonna be awesome. But like that's why we got him, right? So it's like we wanted a somewhat of a family protector type of dog, and then but also has good qualities about them that they can be around families. And you know that if you guys know anything about staffies, you would know that their nickname is the nanny dog, because obviously they're good with kids, good with families. So he has good qualities that we really, really like and that we want to be able to take advantage of when the time comes. And yeah, he's gonna be oh so badass looking and then just the softest idiot.
Yeah, he's a dodo.
Yeah.
Anywhoosies,
Yeah, what do we got?
some topics for today.
Yeah, she didn't really let me see or write down my notes, so I don't got anything for you guys. She's gonna take control of this one.
It's honestly not much, but it's just something that I found. There's this other podcasting people. They're also just like really big on social media because of their couples TikTok that blew up. So now they have podcasts, but they always talk about like their lives, family things, just relationships, and bring on people or whatever. But they've been getting pretty controversial recently, or at least mainly for the guy. People just don't like him and keep telling her that she needs to leave because of how he is. But in this podcast, it struck a nerve in a lot of people. And they were talking about how his birthday last year fell on Father's Day, and he was complaining and said that he was bummed out because the two holidays were combined. And he complained that he had a grill on Father's Day.
He complained that he had two grill.
Yes, because
Uh,
they were just talking about like what they did, but his birthday landed on Father's Day, so they just did, I guess, one celebration for both things. Because I mean
how
that's
old is
pretty
he turning?
common sense. They're old. They're like 30s,
It was like,
maybe late 20s.
did the guy like just happen to turn 30 on the dot?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if it was 30, that's kind of a big birthday, but at the same time, like that's super selfish behavior. You kidding
Well,
me?
people were saying like it's nobody's fault. That's the calendar. That's just what happened.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. This
every
guy
year
sounds
your
like an
birthday is
idiot.
going to fall on a different day, and it just happened to fall on Father's Day. And he was complaining about it and talking about like, yeah, I wish all that didn't happen. And then apparently they were boycotting Father's Day this year, so they just weren't going to do anything because he wants to make sure that he has his birthday celebrations going on. And I guess he's just mad at Father's Day because it took away from him last year.
I don't know. This seems like a fairly short conversation for me. That guy's a fucking idiot. Just share the day with your dad. It's really not that serious, dude. Like your birthday, you have that every single year.
Well,
Father's
he's
Day,
he's a dad. That's why
even
he's but
worse.
that's why he's complaining. He wanted it as two separate celebrations, not everything gets combined in one.
No, that's stupid. And honestly, that's even worse because that's a day both days are for you at that point. I would understand maybe if he wasn't a dad and he just wanted his own day versus his Father's Day,
No, yeah,
but
they have
like
kids.
if he that's just even worse. That's an even shorter conversation for me. Honestly, whoever that dude is, shut the fuck up. You're a dad
Yeah,
and
people
it's
are
your
really
birthday.
coming at him for it, and just like I said, they've kind of been like on a rocky streak recently, and just like keep shitting on the guy because they just see how he is on the podcast, and he's just not the best when it comes to their relationship as far as the way that they present it on like TikTok and stuff. I don't know if that's just for show or if that really is how they is, and now it's just coming up. But yeah, people are starting to come at them for it and just telling her like you need to leave because this man is obviously just not the best.
I don't know if it's that serious that you need to divorce a guy over his issue with Father's Day versus
Well,
birthday,
those kind
but
of things is that's just like, well, if this is what we see on social media or like this is just like how you are on your own podcast, I can only imagine how you really are behind closed doors. Because in somewhat it does kind of show your true colors, especially like at least on social media that you try to, if there's things going on or whatever it is, you try to make it like not so obvious that you're a douche or like you're just a little more careful because obviously social media is the way that it is and things can get taken out of proportion, so you would think that like maybe I need to hold back a little bit, but no, they do the opposite.
mm, I don't know. I don't really like when people are. I mean, I say quick to judge, even though I'm telling this guy to shut the fuck. I mean, I'm not judging him. I'm just telling him be quiet because that's ridiculous. I'm not gonna judge his character as a person. I'm not gonna do the whole oh you can only imagine what goes on. Like I don't care. That's their business. Um, whatever they do put out online that's questionable. I mean, it's not for any of us to be judging that person or saying, "Oh, you should leave him, divorce him. He's a piece of like." Come on, guys. I don't like even if we had an issue that was somehow made public, I would pay zero attention to anybody that advises me or advises her to divorce each other, leave each other, do this and do that. Like I'm not taking no advice. I'm not taking no criticism from some fucking keyboard warrior. You guys just need to keep your mouth shut. It's really none of your business. But in the end, yeah, this guy's that's a come on. Father's Day, birthday, like and you're a father, like at that, like that's just even worse. Come on,
Yeah.
man. That's childish behavior right there. And I mean, I don't know. Some people value their birthdays a lot more than others, but like once you get past 30, the next big one should be 40. And it's kind of like the mentality that I have. I turn 21, the next one I will care about is 30. The next one after that I'll care about is 40. Like you're in these middle ages where it's just kind of like whatever. Unless it's one of those decade years, like you really shouldn't be complaining about shit.
Yeah. Well, that was that. another interesting thing that came up on my feed, which has gotten like 50-50 hate, some not. But apparently,
Apparently,
this it was on the news. I don't know like how this came up or if there was like other previous debates going on, whatever. COVID, that was a thing.
that joke.
Now, no, not COVID itself. Basically, the guy who was like implementing the rules or whatever said that the whole 6 feet apart and the mask thing wasn't necessarily proven on science. It was because he's like, yeah, I think this should be what's happening. So that's what made the whole world have to wear masks and be 6 feet apart at every location or whatever it was that you were doing. But that was not backed up by science, or there was no proof that said, like, hey, if you wear this mask, this is actually going to help you. And apparently, they found an email of him saying the mask will actually not help you.
Well, no, it never helped because people were getting sick regardless.
Yeah, well, that resurfaced. So now people are attacking him, and then some other people are attacking the lady that came at him, saying, like, well, he's a doctor. He did this, he did that. Yeah, I don't know. People just started bringing up like other things that he's. I don't know what he is or what he does or if he worked for the CDC or whatever it may be, but he's apparently done other significant things, I guess, and people are backing him up on that.
I mean,
But
that's.
the whole thing, the way that it was titled was, um, shit, I forgot what it was titled. It just said like the 6 feet apart and masks were made up. Like it, there was no point.
Hmm. I wanna see the
But
email.
the reason why people are shitting on it, it's like obviously yeah, considering like how bad the virus was or whatever, this stupid mask and standing 6 feet apart from somebody isn't going to protect you, as if you were in the same room as somebody who had a freaking cold. Like you're bound to get it. The reason why people were freaking out about it was like the whole 6 feet thing really made a big impact on like social gatherings and just going to places and events and graduations. Like it really impacted a lot of things, and you weren't allowed to do anything because of it.
Oh, this Dr. Fauci guy. Is
Yes,
this what you're
him.
talking about?
Hmm.
Oh, I just. What was it? I think just this morning I saw this shit for the first time. I only quickly because it just comes up. It came up on my TikTok feed, and I was listening to it for like maybe 3 seconds, but I'm like, ugh, COVID. I don't give a shit. So then I kept scrolling. But that's what this is. Uh-huh.
Yeah, people weren't really. Yeah, obviously, people were like, "Well, why even say any of that?" But the biggest thing that people were mad about was like our whole life literally changed just because we needed to be so far apart from people, and businesses shut down and all these other random things that just happened because of those rules. And then another point that was brought up was like the little kids who don't really understand what's going on but have to go to school in a mask. Like you had to put them through that for what? Because
Yeah,
the mask wasn't really necessary, and obviously they're little, they don't want things on their face, so that was definitely like not an easy thing for younger kids at that point in elementary schools. And now he's having to make sure like, oh, put your mask back up after you take a bite when you're eating your lunch. Like that was stupid.
that
Like
was ridiculous. I never once did that. I never once wore a mask unless I never wore a mask until I joined the Air Force. And I mean, we're under government rule. So it's just like we had to, or else you get kicked out. Like they really made threats. And I knew, or actually, I did know a guy in Alaska who was en route to getting kicked out. Like he was going through the paperwork process. He was a few months out. And then it just so happens that in those few months that he was almost out, um, geez, in those
taking
few
a long
months,
breath.
or the whole COVID thing just suddenly died down. And then they were like, oh, never mind, you can stay in. What a fucking joke, dude. What a fucking joke.
Yeah. It's oh my god.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll still
This
have a
kid.
my dad and I are probably till the end of our days going to be on opposite sides of the fence of this COVID thing because and probably even me versus my whole family because
Well,
they were all harping on me about like, oh, you gotta wear your mask, you gotta do
it's
this.
definitely understanding because things happened in the family.
Yes, but things happened in our family not due to COVID. I don't believe that. Yeah, it just so happens that it was COVID times, but like, let's be honest, guys. The few people or the couple
They
people,
had COVID.
yes, but I don't believe maybe COVID was like the striking blow to their death, but the people that died in my family were already halfway out the door.
I'm not talking about the people who died. I'm talking about the person who was still alive.
It- even more to my point.
Well, it was more of a bigger thing in older people, obviously, because their systems are already going
Exactly.
downhill, so it takes a toll on them for sure.
Exactly. So that's the point I'm trying to make. That was the biggest debate. He was like, "Oh, well, things happened in our family and so and blah blah blah." And even it wasn't even a couple people. It was the one guy that died, and like I said, his foot was already halfway out the door. That may have been the striking blow, but he was not going to last much longer, anyways. Um, and yeah, my other family member, really elderly lady, she's still walking about, and she can claim it's because of her two boosters, but it's because she's lived a healthy life. She has a strong immune system. She's a very, very strong woman.
I forgot we got boosters. Did you get a booster? You had
Against
to.
my will,
Yeah,
against my fucking will,
I
because
forgot we
at the
got those
time they were
things.
making those threats do it or get kicked out. So, like, what the fuck choice do I have? If it was up to me, I never would have got those shots. And I probably would have been fine as I was before that. Ridiculous to me. But yeah, my dad and I will be on opposite sides of the fence forever, probably, because he thinks it was so serious and whatever. And then every time, like these kinds of things, like this whole Dr. Fauci thing, and then there's been a couple other things over the past few years since COVID died down that like things come out, and then I kind of put it in my entire family's face, and I'm like, look, guys, see, I was right. You guys were overreacting. You need to like, it's really what a shame because like it really for a while there towards the beginning like drew a line between me and my family and it was hilarious to me.
I mean, it definitely was a huge thing. There was a virus outbreak, as there have been in history
Yeah,
and things like that.
I mean it's not to say not to take it seriously, but the lengths that we went to and the divisiveness that it caused was just it was ridiculous to me. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that really did kind of makes you like think about like, what if COVID didn't happen? Where would we have been? Where would it have
Well,
gone?
we probably would have gone to prom together because funny
Yeah,
enough
we would have.
as oh yeah when did it happen, March of 2020?
It was your senior year.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my senior year. So prom was coming up. I was supposed to have a mass graduation. I mean, we were I'm the class of 2020. We probably would have had the biggest graduation of any class ever. But or maybe ooh, what do you think would have been bigger, 2020 or 2000? Probably 2000. That's insane. Like on the start of the new 100 years, millennia, right?
2000?
The class of 2000. That's a good class to graduate.
Maybe, but your school is as old as we are.
No, I'm not
Do
saying
you
my
mean,
school specific. I'm just
oh, you
saying
mean
in
as a
general.
whole?
Yeah, like in the world, like the class of 2000. Nah,
Probably.
that's probably cooler. But 2020, that's a hard number too. Anyways, my graduation. I mean, the high school I went to, Cypress Bay. We at the time were a school of like 5,000 kids. Just my class alone was probably like anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. So I definitely was not looking forward to graduation day, sitting there for like five,
No,
6 hours.
freaking watching Cypress graduations and friends and no, they fucking suck ass
Right.
because they last about 5 hours.
Yep, exactly. So I was not looking forward to that. I really just wanted to be able to go to fucking prom. Like that's really what I was looking forward to. I didn't care for shit else. I was just talking about this with my mom the other day that I much prefer the graduation that I got as opposed to what would have been, which
A
was
drive through? Not
yeah,
even.
a drive
It
through.
was a drive.
It was a drive through. So basically, we have our bus loop at Cyprus.
I wouldn't even consider that a drive through because that still wasn't even a proper celebration. They freaking.
Yeah. So I pulled up at the time I had my little Ford Fusion RIP. Um, pulled up to the bus loop and we all had our designated days, right? So it was in alphabetical order. I think I was like on the Wednesday of that week, and I pulled up in my time slot on my letter day, and yeah, the principal and vice principal were standing there 6 feet apart with their masks on, and
Yep.
then I pulled up with my passenger side window down, and they said congratulations, and then just chucked my diploma through my window, and then you were on your way. That's really all my graduation was, and honestly, I'm fine with it because if you're watching, you may notice that I'm like looking down at my laptop and phone a lot. It's because, funny enough, my younger sister Lourdes Hernandez, she's graduating
Jeez,
as
don't put her whole name out there.
I didn't say the right last name anyways, so
You can easily connect the dots, but
yeah,
okay.
whatever. It's hey man, I would totally want her to be a yeah. She deserves all the love in the world. Um, yeah, I'm very proud of her. She's graduating high school today. Uh, I mean, we just said these fucking things last forever, so I don't anticipate her walking across the stage for like 5 hours from now. But I'm gonna just have it up on my phone and on my laptop whenever the Wi-Fi decides to work again. And yeah, good for her. But like, also sucks for her because now she needs to sit through it.
Yeah,
Yeah, where did this all this come from?
COVID.
Oh yeah, what was the I don't know where I was. I forgot.
We
But
were
I
talking
just
about prom, first of all. You never even got to prom.
yeah, COVID happened as I was working up the courage to ask her. Mind you, she wasn't single at the time, obviously. But we had our little quote unquote friendship going on. I had no intentions to do any freaky shit. I literally just wanted to take my best friend to prom. And
Mm-hmm.
hey, maybe you were thinking about some freaky shit, but really, I just wanted to take you. I wasn't interested in none of that goofy shit. I just want to
Yeah.
go have a good time, get back at a reasonable hour so that way your dad didn't kill me. And then, I just wanted to live the classic story, just minus the freaky shit. Um, yeah. In those same few days that I was working up the courage, I had the message type out and everything. I was really just copy and paste. That's what I was gonna do. And then school ended, and I never went back.
Yep.
They're like, we're going on a 2 week break. Oops,
Nope.
never went back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I also didn't have a prom either, so then there wasn't a chance there to
Oh yeah,
take
that is
advantage
true.
of that.
What do you think is worse? The way my senior year went or
My year.
yours?
My year was because I got absolutely nothing. You at least got to March of your senior year.
March? Oh yeah, I thought you meant like March, like
No,
physically March.
no.
Um,
You at least went through your senior year. That was
yeah,
already getting to the end of it. I got nothing. The only thing that I did get that you didn't get was a graduation, but that was still sucky because we still
yours
had
was
to sit.
outside.
Yeah, we had to sit
Oh,
outside, and we had to sit a few seats apart from everybody.
yeah, I remember watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the only like good thing I guess that we got out of it.
that was
But
a long day. I remember watching that at work actually.
yeah,
I had the live stream up on my phone at work. Yeah, no. At least I don't know if it's like a funding issue or an availability issue, but Cypress tends to do theirs inside like big ass like I think it was.
they've been doing it at Hard Rock. It hasn't been at Nova for a bit now.
Oh, I was gonna say the Barclay or the Panthers play.
Or yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's where they had been
It
doing it
hasn't been there for a bit.
at big ass stadium by Sawgrass Mall, and I was so not excited for that at all. But then, yeah, I guess now they're doing it at Hard Rock, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I think since you've left. it's been at Hard Rock now because I've had friends in each year and it's all been at Hard Rock.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that blows for you guys. I can't imagine how hot it was that day for you. Cause what
I was fucking sweating.
we're in June
That
now.
was terrible.
Like summer is happening.
And it was a perfect sunny day that day. It wasn't like we had some overcast. No, Florida was hot as balls, and that freaking gown was stuck to me because of how much I was sweating. And then it was just like hair was frizzing. Ugh, it was no, I absolutely hated it. That was
Yeah.
terrible. And I had like short hair at that time, so the frizz and short hair just does not look well. And
Well, at
then this
least you had
stupid
short hair.
hat. Yeah, I guess.
It could have been your hair now, and been a lot
At
harder.
that point, I would have just put it up in a ponytail real quick and it would have been over with. But yeah, it was hot as balls. But I guess I got a graduation. However, I would not trade that over a full senior year because I literally got nothing.
Yeah, I'd probably go with your senior year as the worst one as well, just because you literally got nothing.
And it definitely like I've had a love hate relationship with school. I've never liked it,
I've had a hate.
but I've never liked it. I've never really cared to involve in anybody or with anybody as far as like teams, clubs, all that kind of stuff.
I was
Um,
part of the Rotary Club. They still never gave me my hours.
the only friends that I ever had there were my best friend now, and that's it. I did not yeah, I had friends and I was known, but like not people that I care to hang out with. I would always just like sneak away to meet the teachers' classes and stuff. But I've always been good at school. Like my grades were perfect. I've always had perfect grades. So with senior year being the way that it was, that definitely like just made my knowledge go out the door because I paid absolutely no attention to anything because it was all online. So I cheated on every single thing. I
Yep.
did not genuinely learn anything compared to all my other years. And as much as I hate learning and hate going to school, I actually knew what I was doing. And I mean, I've always been somebody who takes pride in my grades. And I think that's something that I've always like made sure I was good on, especially my GPA. So when it came to senior year, I think that just kind of, I mean, I liked it because it was like, I mean, I'm in bed and I just got to click a button and I'm in class and then I stay there all day. But I also didn't because, like, I really wasn't learning anything and I was just cheating my way through it all. But it is what it is. Still graduated with honors. It's all good.
Yeah.
It was a sucky year though. However, that was our prime time.
I don't know if I'd consider that our prime time.
I honestly think that was the most fun.
That was our first year, which was honestly probably the worst year of our relationship.
No, I don't. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the best friend portion of it all. I'm not talking about us dating.
Well, then that would have been half your school year.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about your senior year.
We were talking when COVID started.
Yes. But I'm talking about your actual senior year.
Oh,
That was mostly
well,
our first year of our
I'm
relationship.
not talking about that. I'm talking about COVID time.
Oh. Yeah. No, yeah, I do agree that ever since COVID had started, I mean, we had a good track. I mean, for me to be able to ask her to prom, obviously we were in a good place as far as our friendship that we probably would have gone together. But yeah, once COVID did start and ramp up, it did go pretty up from there.
Yeah, and it was just fun. We would just do stupid things, go to
Yeah.
random ass places.
Just drive around, have fun. I'd go to her house a lot, just get to know her and her family. We'd sit around, drink, talk shit, go in the pool a lot.
Yeah,
Uh, let's see. You never really went to my house, but that was because so that
I
was
went like twice. That
you
was
went like
literally it.
twice, and I did it while my mom wasn't home. And look, it's not what it sounds like. I wasn't trying to be like sneaky or whatever. It's because she criticized me for even going to your house as much as I did, because she was like, "COVID, COVID, you don't know where they've been or who they've been around, blah blah blah." And I was just
Yeah.
like, "Just shut the fuck up." Like, obviously I didn't tell my mom shut the fuck up, but like I just kind of ignored her because I'm just like, I was of the mindset that COVID wasn't that serious. Lo and behold, never caught anything, never had any issues. If anything, uh, your stepdad at the time, he caught it, and that was from work. And then it never even spread to the rest of anybody in the house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. That's why whenever the two times that I brought her around to my house, I made sure that my mom wasn't there. That way, she wouldn't start freaking out like, "Oh my god, COVID, get a mask," and that bullshit. So, yeah, no, I really, I was against my parents' advice, against my mom's advice, against my dad's advice. I was out and about every single day doing whatever I wanted. It was
I
awesome.
mean, that was what Florida was in general. Florida did not listen to
Oh yeah,
anybody.
and
Things functioned and went on.
yeah, farther down south, we were in more of a lockdown, but yet nobody really cared. And
Miami
then
did not give two shits.
yeah, and then never mind. Or actually, yeah, no. So you would think that for the bigger cities like Miami, they would care a lot more. Miami did not give a fuck. And then
Nope.
anytime I went up to my dad's, it was way more serious up there. It
Yeah, because that's a
sucked.
little more where like that's where the older people. That's where retirement starts coming out.
Yeah. So anytime I was at my dad's house, we took it pretty serious. I mean, he took it pretty serious. I'd still just do whatever. And then he'd come back at me with, "Oh, you're not listening. You got to listen to your dad." Boy, I'm good.
Yeah, COVID was interesting times.
Yeah. It made my BMT experience
Not a
fun.
BMT experience.
Yeah, I've talked about this a lot, but I mean, I guess I'll run through it real quick. Usually, BMT is 7.5 weeks, 8 weeks ish. Because of COVID, they shortened it down to 5.5. And then the first week, one of our people popped positive. And, at the time during prime time COVID, we were doing 2 week quarantines. So I got a 3.5 week basic training. I got the
And
first
you were
full
in a
week.
hotel
Yep. I got, oh, that was the best
with
part.
his phone.
That was the best part. So we got 0 week. Then we got quarantined for 2 weeks. And it just so happened that the NBA playoffs were starting
Oh my
at that
goodness.
time. So no bullshit. I had my phone. I was in a hotel room by myself all day long. Literally, I'd have room service basically to the, well, not to the door. They would make us like in our PT gear, um, line up outside, and then we kind of do like this single file line, just kind of grab your food and go back to your room. Yeah, every day for 2 weeks straight. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner at whatever time they were, and in between, just fuck off, do whatever you want. So I was watching a lot of NBA, watching a lot of ESPN, First Take, was on the phone with her a lot, was on the phone with my friends and family a lot.
Yep.
And then, 0 week is kind of like the worst week because, they're doing all that shark bullshit. They're in the snake pit. They're yelling at you. They're doing this. So naturally, I was feeling pretty beaten down. And after those 2 weeks, watching basketball, having fun, talking shit with my peoples, I got back to the
Yep.
BMT those last couple of weeks, refreshed, ready to go.
And
Oh,
then it was over.
yep. And then it was over. I went to Shepherd. That's when I think,
Woohoo! Go Jasmine.
huh?
Sorry.
Oh shit, nice. Um, that's when the NBA finals came around. So Shepherd was lit too with the finals. Unfortunately, my Heat lost, but it's okay. LeBron won. Can't ever
Yeah.
complain there.
Was your did your whole sickle cell thing make you? What happened with that? I can't remember. Cause didn't you were texting me during that time? That's why I found out. Or no, no, you sent me letters. Never mind. Just kidding. You sent me the letter
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, I mean, it's a different topic, but yeah, I do have sickle cell trait. I found that out in that first week of BMT when we were doing our in processing at medical. And then at
You
first,
never had your blood drawn before that? Like you've never gone for
I
a
have.
checkup?
Yeah, I have. I had my blood drawn twice before that sickle cell blood draw, because the very first time I ever had a blood draw was maybe sometime in middle school, and these motherfuckers, I don't know why,
I can't stand the
but
way
they
they
took an
don't know how to do shit.
ungodly, they took an ungodly amount of blood. So I passed the fuck out. It wasn't because I was scared or I was having an issue with what was happening. No, they took way too much blood. I'm talking about they would fill up a tube, bring another one. It like, what the
That's
hell?
nasty. Absolutely
Eventually, I
not.
passed out and then I woke up throwing up.
That's yucky. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
and then through my MEPS.
But they didn't catch that. Nobody ever caught anything
Nope.
before
That's why
BMT.
when I sent out the letters to you, to my mom was especially surprised. She was like freaking the fuck out. As soon as she got the letter and read that, she got on the phone with my pediatrician. She's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, how come we've never heard of this?" And the guy was, I mean, our pediatrician said, the doctors at medical said, um, it's just a trait. It doesn't actually affect you. Now, if I actually had the disease, because there's sickle cell disease, which is all those symptoms that you might have
Yeah.
that can potentially be fatal. So if I had had the disease for it, they would have kicked me out.
Hmm.
I would have been sent home from basic training. But luckily, they were like, "Yeah, it's just a trait. It's never gonna affect you. You're fine."
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what was your question about that? I mean, it hasn't.
Oh no, because I couldn't remember if it was like something that happened at the same time that you were being quarantined in the hotel, and that was the reason why you were in the hotel too. But no, I
No, no.
remember you sending me the letter. And
Yeah,
that's where I
no.
found
That was
out.
just my first week of BMT. They caught it in my blood draw, and then now it's just a part of my. So like my dog tags, I have the classic military dog tags, my name, religious denomination or whatever, and then I have a second tag. I'm one of the few people that'll have a second tag that's red, and that
Because
red
there's
tag,
something wrong with him.
yeah, that red tag indicates sickle cell trait. Obviously not disease because I wouldn't even be in the Air Force, but yeah, I do have that. It doesn't ever affect me. Like I said, it's really not that big of a deal. Although the
I think
symptoms,
I think it has. I think you
the
just don't
symptom,
notice it.
yeah, the symptoms do fall in line with a lot of shit that I've experienced
You
in
just
my life.
never knew about it, so it was whatever.
Yeah, I guess. Because one of the prime examples, because they're just like, oh, you can be really sensitive to heat exhaustion. Like you could, you know, get to passing out and shit. It'll make your blood get like
Then
real choppy or thin or whatever. And one of the prime times that I remember
just stupid.
exercising, huh?
What is going on over there? Oh my god, there. No, sorry, I'm looking at the graduation. There's something happening.
Oh,
Their shit's falling apart.
what the fuck? What are they on? B? Vanessa Brown. Okay.
Yeah, you
Um,
still got a bit.
yeah. Damn, where was I going with that?
Your
Oh yes.
lightheadedness and stuff.
So the very first recollection of potentially sickle cell affecting me as a kid was, this was definitely in middle school. It was part of my YMCA championship MVP run. We One of the first few games of the season, they had us play outside. And boy, it was hotter than a motherfucker. Oh my god. Like, all the kids were suffering, but maybe I was suffering a bit extra because of my sickle cell bullshit. Like, what was it? I was on I was on defense. This kid brought me down to the post, and like, dude, I'm literally, at the time I was barely like 5'5". This motherfucker, this big chunky fat kid, you know those type of kids,
Yeah.
those big ass middle school kids. He put me down in the post, scored on me. I'm like, okay. As soon as he was throwing up the layup, I said, I'm gonna just get back and cherry pick immediately. So I basically let him score because I'm like, there's nothing I can do. So I'm sprinting back. I call for the ball, and as I'm calling for the ball, sprinting back, I was dying. I was dying. Like, I was literally about to pass out. So like I'm running and I'm like feeling lightheaded. So then I just exited the play. I just exited the court. I went over to the bench, and then everybody was freaking out because I'm like like dying, like sweating buckets. I was faint. I was literally about to pass out. My mom, she starts freaking the fuck out, pouring water on my head. Oh my god, Felipe, no! Oh, it was horrible. Um, that was really the one time that I could ever think of when I was notified of the sickle cell thing that
Yeah.
maybe it affected me because they warn against training or doing exercise in extreme temperatures, hot or cold.
Mm.
They warn against high altitude training, so hiking, running in the mountains.
And
Um,
low, like some like the pressure.
oh yes, yeah. So that goes with the mountains, just like high pressure, high altitude, like that shit is supposed to fuck me up. But yeah, that
Like
was
scuba dive. I've heard people say scuba diving. Like you can't really go scuba diving.
yes, I do. Yeah, I do think that that was one of them. Yeah, no, that was probably an example of the heat exhaustion one. But it's weird because like I've always played sports. Like I've always been physically active. I've even played on some of the hottest days in Florida, like 1-on-1 basketball, 3-on-3 basketball, football, soccer, ultimate frisbee. Like I've I've been physically active forever, and that was the one time that that ever happened to me. Um, and I mean that was literally middle school. I still had the rest of middle school and all of high school to go. That never once ever again happened to me, no matter how tired I got or heat exhausted I got. Like it never got to that point.
Yeah.
Um,
It happened a lot when, well, because women, we love a good hot shower. When I first went to Alaska,
oh yeah, when she first moved to Alaska.
literally every single shower that we took, he needed to like sit down or like just take a breather because of he would get lightheaded or too hot. And it happened a few times in the house in Alaska too.
Yeah, but to be honest, um, I mean, we take hot showers now. I
But
don't
it's
know.
not as steamy though.
Yeah, I think the issue there was just lack of ventilation in our bathroom
Yeah,
because
it was a straight
literally within our
sauna.
first few weeks of moving into that Alaska house, the ventilator in our bathroom broke,
Yeah.
and it just kept slipping my mind to get it fixed.
And
Like,
the Airbnb that we stayed at also just like trapped
yeah,
all the steam from the shower like inside, so you really couldn't breathe properly.
yeah, no, there was definitely yeah. She's not wrong. I got pretty faint. Like a good chunk of like a good chunk of showers that we would have together. Um, maybe, yeah, maybe that was a potential risk factor there. Um, I mean, we hiked up Flat Top. I never had an issue that day, but to be fair, it's not like we were running up the fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I think those lack of ventilated showers and that one time in middle school, like those are the two times that I've ever had an issue. Other than that, if I've ever been exhausted or like winded, like I'm dying, that's just because I'm just fat and out of shape. Like at that point, it's my fault. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the symptoms definitely hit more for those with the disease,
Yeah, and like
or
I
it's not
said,
as serious.
those can prove fatal. Like you
Yeah.
could literally die if you actually have the disease. Because at that point, when you actually have the disease, your blood cells are literally a different shape than a normal person's. Like they just will cease. You will
Mm.
cease. Yeah. Maybe it affects me. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, you're definitely ones who just like, oh, this is happening. Okay, cool. I'm go about my day. Like you don't really
Yeah.
question shit happening. You just gotta
No.
deal with it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I'm very stubborn about like especially when I play sports. I've always been super duper stubborn about any pain or exhaustion I feel. 'Cause I'm just like I pointed this out before in like one of the previous podcasts that my competitive drive sometimes can just be to my own detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my left knee, right? I'm pretty sure that in high school I tore my meniscus playing basketball again at that same court actually, in regional park. But this time it was just for fun. At this point, I had been playing for like 2 hours. All my friends had left, so I was literally just playing with strangers. And then I drive down the lane, going up for the layup. Then if you know regional park, there's those volleyball courts over there. So the sand was on the court because people just track sand onto the courts. So I slip falling backwards. And then, this bigger guy, stranger, he just falls on top of my knee and like bends it the wrong way. And like I felt it pop. I even heard it. Or maybe it was one of those like pops that you feel, but like in your body you hear it. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's one of those. But like I felt a genuine pop. I really, really couldn't walk after that. But man, I was in the middle of a game and I was actually having a good game. I was shooting really well that game. Like I had most of my team's points. Um, yeah, I finished out that game hobbling, and then 3 more hours happened after that. So that was at the beginning of one of those high school summers. I think it was the beginning of ninth grade. No, it was the beginning of 10th or 11th grade summer, going into 10th or going into 11th grade. One of those summers. No, it would have been going into 11th grade because I'm pretty sure I would have had my car. Either way, I did not play anything for the rest of the summer, which sucked. I had my knee on ice pretty much the entire summer, just resting it. Just ass. Just ass. And like, I didn't try to warm myself back up into sports or anything like that once the summer went by. I just got back to it like normal. And ever since then, it's just bothered me.
Yeah,
It has been probably re aggravated pretty recently.
I think we talked about it in one of the podcasts. We talked while we
Yeah.
went running, or you went running.
Yeah, I was running around the neighborhood and then that same MCL area behind my knee. I was running up the hill over here in our neighborhood and then my shit just like snapped outwards and then tightened really really hard going back inwards. So I don't know what the fuck that was, but I haven't really run since then. And I'm kind of scared to because I don't want to because it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad when it happens. Oh my god. Like I can barely walk sometimes because I will my knee could be at a weird angle or if I walk or make a sudden turn or like for days after that, whenever I'd be walking back down our pathway to the car, randomly, it just hurts so bad, and then I have to hobble my way to the car. I don't know. I should probably go see a doctor, but like, just give it some time. It'll buff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it'll buff. This isn't even a competitive issue. I just think it'll buff. It'll be fine. Just gotta give it some time.
Mm-hmm.
Although my PT test is not too far away in August,
Yeah.
so
Wasn't your last PT test you didn't do something because your wrist was hurting at that point too?
not the
Was that the
last
last one?
one. I think it was the one before that because um oh damn, what did happen on that one?
You're snowboarding.
Oh yeah, when we went snowboarding, not us, but the time after that when I went with Womack and Lennon. Uh yeah, snowboarding, sprained my wrist, and then I couldn't do the push up portion of my PT test.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gonna be injured out on this one too.
Nah, I think I might try running again next week, like going back to the gym in general next week. Uh but I'll probably just be on the treadmill, just keep it on flat ground because I already know that if I try to run up these damn hills in our neighborhood again, I'm fucked.
Or if we just go on the track. I'll
Or
just do
yeah,
like slight suicides. Keep it interesting.
yeah. I don't know. I'll see what I do. Yeah, that's my terrible body issues. I just have bad knees in general. My other knee is just shit because it's shit. It's just
It's in your genes or
yeah, it's just in
history.
my genes. My dad has bad knees too. Other men in my family have bad knees. So bad back, and it's getting worse every time I have to carry this fucker's guy. Bro, he's getting
His
heavy, dog.
chung is. He's definitely more than 11 pounds. Because I mean, I could carry a good 10-pounder in my hand without any issues.
You know, he's
And
definitely
now
like
carrying
15
him
now.
with one hand is getting a little heavy. I don't think I could. What's it called?
Girl.
Yeah, I don't think I could curl him right now. I might be able to, but like 2 or 3 reps, that's about it. But he's definitely a little chungus.
Yep, he's definitely about
He's
like
growing way too
14,
fast.
15 pounds. Yeah, he's gonna be a big boy, like I said
His
earlier.
legs are like, where was I gonna go with that? They're like taller.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not
his
like
legs are getting a
stubby.
bit
I know
longer.
I was looking at him earlier because he was like fully standing and just staring at me, and his legs were like really, they just looked really long and they weren't so stubby the way that they were when we got him.
Yeah, they're getting longer and they're getting muscular.
Yeah, his muscles are definitely showing now.
Yeah. We just need for him to like get out of these puppy stages because then that's when the rest of his body muscle will come in. Right now, he just has a lot of baby fat. He's just a little chubster.
Yeah, he's got a tummy, but his legs are muscular
Yeah,
because his big butt legs are coming in,
yeah.
and his teeth have grown.
Oh, sure, they sure
They
have.
have left some marks on mainly him, not so much me, thankfully.
Yeah, the past couple times that I've gotten like, I won't say bit. It's just like earlier today when I was on my lunch break. That one was definitely on me. Like I was waving his little Pringles toy around his face, and then I just got too close to his mouth,
Yeah.
caught a little canine tooth. Yesterday actually, I was playing with him in the yard, and I was doing the recall thing, and he tore my sweatpants that I've had since like the beginning of high school. My Nike sweatpants.
I'm pretty sure I got those for you. I've gotten you most of your Nike sets.
No, those ones I've had for a while. Because I know you got me the. Oh wait, maybe you did give me those.
Yeah, I've gotten you brown, black, and blue. Or not, yeah, blue. I think I might have just gotten you a new pair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a new pair because I know that I've had those Nike sweatpants for like a long, long time, even before we were like friends or dating or anything.
Yeah, I think I just got you new ones.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, definitely that. New ones and other colors.
Yeah,
Um,
that was my thing. I was
yeah,
just always getting him new Nike sets, the tops and the bottom, when we first started dating.
yeah. Yeah, he tore a fucking hole in that shit because like he came to me, I gave him a treat, and then I was like, "Oh, good boy," petting him and shit. And then he got back to his biting shit. And as I saw him start to like lunge at me to bite my leg, I shot up to just get out of his way. But his top two canine teeth just happened to grab onto the side, like the inner thigh portion. So, like, pretty close to my dick. I heard it rip. I heard, and I looked down. I'm like, oh my God. Are you serious, dude? So, yeah.
Yeah, right
It,
now he's in a weird kind of bad attacking phase.
yeah.
He's just decides to come at you whenever he likes because you can just be in the yard, trying to let him go potty, and then all of a sudden he's trying to bite your legs off.
Yeah.
I don't know like what excites him or what makes him think that that's what he needs to do, but we're trying to get him out of that real quick because that's just not okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not okay. Um,
Even if it's playing like that, that's no.
Yeah. Just now I was when I took him out earlier after work. Um so yesterday what I did was as soon as I notice he's doing that, I just sprint. I just run away. And then he'll either chase me and then I'll just cut back and run the other way, or when I run away, he'll just kind of stop and stare at me as I run away. And then eventually I'll come Sky, and then when he gets to me, I'll give him a treat. Um or I just tried it just now. I think at all times now, we just need to have a treat in our hand. And then when he starts doing that shit, just fucking put it to his nose and get his attention. Just redirect him. And then make him sit, relax, give him the treat, and then just carry on. But to be fair, that only worked for those 2 seconds because not 7 seconds later, he was back to it. So
Yeah.
I think probably the most effective thing right now is to take it as a training opportunity and just run away and then do the recall thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely want to get him out of that habit now while he's still somewhat small and we have some control over him. Not when he's a big boy. But yeah, that was that. Where did we really went off a whole tangent there.
Yeah.
We went from COVID to your body being sucky
Did you have
and
anything
this
else
guy.
on your?
No, that was really it for today's conversations, other than my questions for the day, but I feel like their questions can kind of spark some conversations up too. Ending questions.
Ending question.
Sorry, the
Theme music.
that's Dora. Get copyright.
These
Um,
subtitles have to be wrong. Ian Erickson. All right, so we're still in
no.
E because I just saw a name. It said like bring singer.
Alrighty. First question. What do you wish you learned earlier in life?
What do I wish I learned earlier in life? I mean,
You can choose any aspect, like any. Is there something specific?
I don't know. Honestly, I had to grow up at a very early age because my dad was forced to move out of the house at a very early age. So I did a lot of growing up very fast. So as far as like maturity, I mean that just goes with maturity. I don't know about. I mean, I learned a lot, I guess, but that's more like emotional relationship type knowledge. Mm, I probably would want to know sooner in life that I wasn't going to be tall.
That's the route you go.
Yeah, because I spent so much time, even up to my senior year, having hopes that I was just suddenly going to have a fucking growth spurt of the lifetime and then somehow still make it to the NBA.
Well, that's what happens when you have parents on two completely opposite sides.
Yep, my dad's an even 6 foot and my mom's almost an even 5 foot. So I landed there in the middle.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like me. I'm pretty average. I could have been a tall gal. My dad's 6'3", but my mother's 5 foot, 5'1".
your mom's probably like 4 foot 11.
No, that's my grandma.
You should.
My
They're so
grandma's four
short.
foot
It's
eleven.
hilarious.
My mom's definitely like 5 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely would have wanted to have been told earlier to not put so much focus into basketball because that just clouded my whole vision of like life and school. I mean, I didn't like school regardless, but growing up, I was like, fuck this, I'm going to the league. Who cares? And up until like senior year was starting, because people were submitting their college applications, I finally had to come to that conclusion by myself. It was a very emotional day because actually remember I was on a phone
I
call.
mean, haven't there been short people in the league?
Yeah,
I
and they
think that.
lost all of 5 minutes,
Oh,
probably the longest, or not even because, yeah, no, short people don't tend to last long. There was a guy that was Muggsy Bogues. I think he was about like 5'4", 5'5", and I mean he proved almost ineffective completely over time because at 5'4" you cannot play defense whatsoever.
well, yeah.
Your best shot is offense, and even then, that's going to be tough. Oh my God, are we already at Hernandez? The fuck, Gandara.
No, they're on G.
I just saw somebody say Hernandez. I just saw
Yeah, that was their.
that was their.
That's G. Hernandez was just their second part of their last name.
Okay, so I mean we're getting close though. Um,
There are also 10 people like Wade. Just the names don't match at all. So you're not gonna see her over here for a minute when they say her name.
crazy. Or no, they're calling the names as they come up because they're giving them a paper with their
No,
name.
yeah, but this over here are not the people that they're calling.
Oh,
This is way behind.
fuck. Um, yeah. Anyways, I was on a phone call with my dad, and senior year starting. He's like, "Dude, what are you gonna do?" And I'm just like, "I don't know." Like, he's like, "Well, what do you want? Like, what's your passion?" And I'm like, "Basketball." And then he was like, "Oh, Felipe, like, come on, you're not. It's not happening."
Wake up, buddy.
Yeah, he was like, "Dude, it's just not happening." And then I literally started breaking down in tears because I'm like, I love basketball so much, and I just want to be a part of the game. And like, yeah, there's other areas to the game than just playing, but I enjoy playing so much. And yeah, that I wish I would have just came to that realization sooner. I mean, and here's the thing. Here's a fucked up thing. Growing up, my mom or my grandma, she has what was allegedly a 100% accurate height predictor, and then even every time because it's worked on every single person that she's ever done it on.
Uh
She's been
huh.
able to correctly predict to the inch how tall somebody in our family is going to be, and by her calculations, I was estimated to be 6'3".
Oh, you wish in your
So imagine
dreams.
hearing that as a kid and then hearing that as a kid that loves basketball. Dude, I thought I thought I had it made. I thought I was going somewhere. And then every time I went to the doctors, they had about like a 6 foot minimum projection for me as well. I don't know what the fuck went wrong
You didn't
that
drink enough milk or something.
I drank plenty of milk growing up. I don't know what went wrong that I ended up at 5'7" in like or eighth grade. I made it to like 5'6", and then ever since then I grew like just barely throughout high school and made it to 5'7". So yeah, starting senior year, I'm looking at myself physically. I'm like, fuck, it's not gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah. What's one thing you would want to know sooner?
It's definitely not going the route that you were. You took that one a little personal.
I take everything personal.
Uh huh. Um, wait, I forgot what my question was. Oh, I think. Do you have to pee?
A little bit.
Yeah, you're moving too much. Um, I think mine was more of like in certain. I think mainly relationships.
Yeah. No kidding.
I didn't even say what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I can guess the general area probably.
What? Say it.
Don't do anything you did ever.
No, that was not it. I was gonna say the only thing that I wish I had learned when it comes to relationships is to. Well, I think this can also just be in life in general, but like to let shit go. Actually, I think I really only learned that with you.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was alluding at. Don't do anything you did ever and I didn't finish before me.
Oh my goodness. I think
No, I have to.
that's the main thing.
I sometimes say in a way that gives myself too much credit for anything that she is now. I really don't because end of the day, I always say this: no matter what advice I ever offered you or what I could tell you back then and even now, it's up to you. And you did all the work to get to where you are now. So
Yeah.
always kudos to you. But yeah,
Yeah, that's really all that I was gonna go with.
yeah. I was gonna say something relationship related or like I don't think there's anything more in my life that I would have wanted to like just come to terms with sooner or learn about sooner. Because everything else has just come with experience and time. And there hasn't been anything that I've learned uh I mean there's been a lot of things that I've learned in my relationship with you. I just think that basketball thing is probably the most valuable to me because I do love basketball.
Yeah.
Lourdes, there she is. Hey, oh, that's a black kid.
I told you it's not gonna match.
Well, they call the names, but then they obviously that's why it's a split screen.
Yeah, I know, but it's still 10 people that have to come across that screen until the actual person that they just said comes on.
Hold up, everybody,
Like you're
shut the
not gonna
fuck up.
see Luli for a minute.
Everybody, be quiet. It's happening. Hopefully soon.
There are cameras. They're too spaced out on stage to where a lot of people don't hit the picture spot.
Hmm. There she is. Oh, Lucy. Oh, that's sweet. All right, I'm turning this shit off.
It's gonna be on there for another 3 hours.
Yeah. Surprisingly, this is going faster than I thought. Like they're already at H,
And they
and
always
this
do a million
thing.
speeches and
Oh, but yeah,
all
this
that
thing did
stuff.
start at 4. It's been an hour, almost 2 hours. Oof, that's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's official, guys. My sister is a high school graduate. Congratulations, Lily. I don't know if you're listening or watching, but I just hope you know I'm proud of you. I love you. And you're definitely going to go on to do greater things than I ever could as far as school goes. Yeah, good shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next question?
If there was a book of everything everyone has said about you, would you read it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would too, because I'd be so quick to cut so many people off in my life.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one way to approach it, but
But yeah, because why are you gonna have people who talk shit about you just be in your life?
well, no, yeah, I understand that train of thought, but more so, I take it. See, this is why we just said I take things personally. Like, I'm going to read whatever bad things somebody has to say about me, and then I'll be like, hmm. Like, I'll go to them and I'll question, them, hey, why, like, what happened that made you say this, or like, I'll take it as a moment of self reflection.
I guess.
But if there's somebody that just genuinely fucking hates me, I'm probably gonna go to them and be like, "Hey, if you hate me so bad, why are you just like, why? Like, get away from me." I'm not gonna tell them to get away because it's like if you have something so horrible to say, just stop being around me.
What if it was like one of the guys?
Not even one of the guys,
What do you do in that situation?
like my friends back home or like friends in the
Yeah,
Air Force.
either
Either
one.
or. I mean, like I said, it depends on what they say. If they behind my back are saying, "Ah, I don't actually even like him. Like, fuck him entirely." And everything he stands for. Like he's just a horrible person. Yeah, I'd come to them and I'd be like, hey, like man, like why? What have I done or said to you or in general ever that has made you feel this way? And then when they answer that, I'll see if we can work the issue. And if we can't, I'll be like, hey, if you hate me so bad, feel free to walk. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I don't have any issue with somebody hating me, just as long as you have a valid excuse or a valid explanation. And if it is valid or it's not valid, we'll talk about it. And if in the end we can't get over it, okay, bye. I'm not I'm not dying over it. Life goes on. I'll meet new people.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, no. I'll just take it as a self-reflective thing. I'm not gonna like I'm not the first line I read, oh, this is wrong with him. Oh, fuck you. Bye. That's just that's unreasonable.
Well, I already said my answer.
But would you take it as like the first sign of somebody saying something wrong about you? You're just like, bye.
Yeah, because what's the point? I just wasted my life if I was still talking to, or not waste my life. I just wasted my time being friends with you this whole time.
So you'd make no attempt at trying to fix an issue.
It depends on who it is. Then maybe.
What
But
if
at the
it's one of
same
your
time, like if people were genuinely your friend, then they wouldn't have said that in the beginning. So no, I
well,
wouldn't care to
I
give them my
can
time
I can
anymore.
be genuinely your husband. I can still have shit to say. Like it's just that's why I say like no matter how bad something could be said about me,
Yeah, but there's like certain things that you just don't say. Like I'll talk shit
like
about
what?
Eric and say things about him, and I still love him, and I say it to his face. But like they can get to a certain level where it's like, all right, that's a bit much.
Okay, so give an example of what that might be.
I can't think of it on the spot. I just know it when I see it.
So if I'm behind your back, just she's such a selfish bitch. Like fuck that. What
I would not want to be with you. No,
what if I was just like a friend?
I don't care.
So you wouldn't take the time and be like, why do you feel like I'm selfish, or what have I done to make you think that I'm selfish? You wouldn't try to be like, because then at that point let this one person say this about you, but then all these other people after that, or even people around that right now, like what if people around you just think you're selfish? If everybody thinks you're selfish,
Well, bye.
there's so what? You're just gonna isolate yourself from
If
everybody?
you act like I have a million friends, or I care
Okay,
to have a million
even
friends,
with the three friends that you have, if they all hate you, don't you think that speaks volumes on
I
you?
am who I am. And if you don't like that, then no will. Goodbye.
So you'd make no attempt at some form of self improvement. You just think you're just gonna keep doing what you're doing, and it is what it
Yeah,
is.
because to me, that's just how I am. And that's how I'm going to be.
See, that's not
Maybe so. Maybe that situation is just like not the right one that you should ask. Because that's,
okay. But then
I
this
don't
goes
know.
with anything wrong that somebody could say about you. If multiple people have this
Yeah,
opinion
but
on
I
you,
like when people talk shit about me because I think it's funny.
okay. See, this is one of the talking points of the conversations that we had last week that I just don't understand. At some point, you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. in life, just in general, who you are, who you want to be, what you're doing to make yourself better.
Yeah, and the way that I am is the way that I am, and I'm not going to change just because you think that that I act a certain way.
You still gotta always look for some way to be better.
I am better.
Better than who?
People want to talk shit. Cool. I'm happy in my position, and I'm gonna live my life the way that I want to.
Okay. I mean, I don't talk shit about you, but I still like to see, because that's just an attractive thing, searching for better.
Well, yeah, but if it's in a situation where like people are talking shit about me, I could care less. I do not care. I'm gonna move on with my day.
I mean, I mean, I don't care about.
That's probably because I was always talking about from middle all the way through high school, so that's just what I had to deal with. So I do not care for a single thing that you say about me, and it's not gonna make me question anything else in my life. I'm gonna continue on with my day the second after you say whatever you do.
I mean, yeah, having tough skin is cool and all, but I still think in some capacity you need to have a self-reflective,
I mean,
improvable.
yeah, I, I'm self-aware.
Well, I mean, if you're so self-aware, then you have to be able to improve.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying the selfish situation is just not like you can't really say that because I'm self-aware
What if
of
somebody?
how I am and how I'm not.
What if one person or multiple people think you're just not nice? Like, you're not a nice
Oh, I
person.
love that.
Why do you
I
love
don't
that?
care.
So if everybody in your life right now,
Well,
including
not
me, your
everybody in my
mom,
life ever says that I mean.
okay, I'm trying to give the example though.
Well, that's why it's hard put in that situation because like I know when I'm a bitch and I know when I'm not. Like I only act like that when I need to, or if there's a reason for me to because somebody else was acting out. I'm not genuinely like that. I'm a very nice person. That's literally what my job consisted of was me being friendly and starting conversations
You
with
did get
people.
good reviews of Lululemon.
Like that's I'm a very likable person. But say some shit about me or say some shit about people that I care about, I'm I'm gonna be a bitch and I do not care and I enjoy it. I think it's fun and I think it's funny to see the way that people react out of it. But I know that that's not who I am as a whole.
I don't know. I'm trying to find a word or something that could. I don't know. I
I mean, I can see that situation because maybe there is going to be like that the few people who maybe only see that side of me and it's like, well, get to know me, I guess, but that's not who I am. And I know that. I don't care about what other people think. I know that that's not who I am and I'm not going to waste my time on somebody who just saw me lash out in a bad moment because of a certain situation. I know that's not who I am.
yeah. I still think the selfish one is a good example because,
But I'm not selfish, so I can't really put that into perspective.
well, you don't know. Maybe there's some people in your life that might think that.
Well, if that's the case, then sorry, because I don't think I'm selfish at all.
Well, but that's kind of like the self-righteous attitude that I'm talking about. You may not think something about yourself, because even last week, I didn't think in one of the conversations we had, I didn't think that what something you were saying about me is true. But then I took the time to be like, oh shit,
Yeah,
maybe.
but with that, I don't. If you want to say specifically selfish, then no, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, maybe I am, because I know I'm not.
Well, that's why it's an example, babe. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to get you to.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. It's hard to explain in like that
Okay,
aspect
so
because I
so
can't really. I know that's not me, so I can't put my mind in.
okay, you're hard-headed.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's just the
And what
complete
about it?
opposite end of the spectrum. I thought you might give a little pushback. Well, at least you're that self-aware that you know you're hard-headed.
I'm Hispanic and a woman.
Screw you guys. Just the whole
That's who I am.
whatever.
They're
Let's.
honestly like no, this was gonna sound this was gonna sound cocky. I was gonna say there honestly isn't anything wrong with me. No, I know there is, but I think the only thing that would be valid that I think people can actually say about me, I think, is you saying like I am a mean person. That's generally the only thing that I can think of.
I I think another thing could be like sometimes you just can't be told anything. That's kind of the self righteous attitude that I just pointed out. Is sometimes you could just be like, I think this, so whatever. Like it is what I say it is.
Yeah.
That's not entirely a good thing. And that's literally one of the things you pointed out to me about me last week. And then
No, hold on. The difference here and the way that you worded it is not correct. You said the way that I think is the way that it is. No, I think what I think, and I'm gonna stick to that because that's what I'm okay with. You are, I think it is. I think the way that I think, and that is what it is. That's you. I am. I'm gonna think what I think because that's what I feel.
or
So I'm
no,
gonna move on with my life.
I did word that wrong. I'm trying to say like
I see. I see where you're coming
your
from.
your stubbornness is like you just can't be told shit sometimes. And then it's funny because sometimes I will tell you something. Like there's been multiple times where over the past course of our relationship, basically, where and even throughout our friendship, I will tell you, do this. You're doing this the wrong way. Maybe try this instead. Like I'm giving you pointers, and then you ignore me or brush me off. And then later on, you come back to me and you're like, "Hey, so I did this and it worked out." And then I'll be there
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Well, because like in the moment, if I don't see that it's really affecting me that way, then I'm not gonna change anything. But if later on, and I brought this up in that conversation, that if later on I do decide to look into something else, and that's the way that I go, and it works, cool, thanks. But like in the moment, if the way that I think is perfectly okay to me and I'm living a happy life, well, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing and I'll get back to whatever it is later on if I want to.
Yeah, no, that's fine and that's totally respectable. But
But like yeah,
I,
I see your side. Like I accept, yeah, I am very strong about what I think
yeah,
and I voice that.
I just, I mean, we both could do with more open mindedness.
I guess.
Yeah, that's probably ultimately what I was getting at with you because you obviously you can you can just be like fuck off, like I got this, but that's kind of that self righteous attitude that I'm alluding to is like sometimes you're just like I got this, whatever, and then you know sometime later on it's just funny. Oh fuck, which one? What time was it? I mean, a lot of this comes back to your previous relationship where I would be telling you stuff and
Oh yeah.
you'd be like, no, 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 but wait,
Yeah, or
while you're crying tears to me.
I tell you like, yeah, I know you're right. Think I listen to you? No.
Yeah, and then when you come back later on, like, ah, oh, well,
Well,
I'll be like,
yeah.
bro, it's almost like I told you
Yeah,
so.
in that situation, yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah, no kidding, it was annoying. You don't even know.
I can see it in that situation.
Yeah, we have a third question, third and final.
Yes, there was. Oh, if if there was anything else that you would want to know more about or explore
Like you or in life?
in life.
Oh, mm, I think. Mm,
I feel like yours is gonna be more history related.
yeah, I'm thinking just a lot about history right now.
Like if you could be in Roman times,
If I could be, yeah, like in Roman time, like
like you just want to know more about
I,
stories.
yeah, because like obviously, um, I'm more of a visual learner. So last week or last weekend, right? I put on that fucking what was it, like it was 3 4 hour documentary of like the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, and maybe I only got 30 minutes into that, but like you know I took interest to that kind of history in middle school when we had like world history class or some bullshit, but it never really like it took my interest hard, which is why I always talk about it, but I never really like grasped onto much during textbooks or homework because I'm a visual learner. So that's
Mm.
why Ryan and I in middle school, because we were both in that world history class, and then we did a lot of homework assignments, and we both fell in love with the Roman history stuff, watching movies, documentaries. Like we like to see that shit. Um, I think I would definitely want to know more, and like I just wish I could visually see it because
Mm.
like even now we can go visit Rome right now, but like it's not what it once was, and my interest so hard is to be in that time to see what it was, to really experience it. Like
Yeah.
although it was a really harsh time, like Romans were kind of insane. They were kind of insane people, but like dude, they were fucking effective. They had the biggest and greatest empire in the history of ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I really wish I could see that. And I mean, recently I bought this new Bible, but it's been a struggle for me to actually like read and comprehend, which is why I spend a lot of time like at work and while I'm driving, like trying to listen or watch about a specific verse or something, because reading it, like I get it in my mind as much as I can, but now I need to double back and like actual. I guess that's where Bible study comes in, but it's more. I'm not really studying the Bible. I'm like studying videos referring to what I'm reading. I don't know.
Well, because the Bible's worded in certain ways. It's like reading freaking Shakespeare. Like you
I
can
mean, no,
understand
it's
it in
old
a way when
English.
you're reading it, but then it's kind of difficult to comprehend.
Yeah, it's old English. There's a lot of words like wherefore ever thou. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the whole like Romeo and like that's why I've never liked that whole Shakespeare side because like half the time I can't even understand what they're trying to say because
Yeah,
they throw in all these random words and they have different terms. And that's
yeah.
just
There's a lot of stuff that I do get, but then for the I just feel like sometimes because where I last left off is in the book of Matthew, and this is Matthew telling his account, his point of view of what he saw about Jesus's life and everything that he personally witnessed Jesus do. And sometimes it's just tough to picture it because I need to see it to really be able to understand it. That's why watching that show The Chosen has been so good and what really inspired me to actually read the Bible, because now it's been better that way for me actually, because now that I've seen it, I've been able to picture it better in my head when I read. But now that I'm reading past what I've seen in the show, I'm kind of lost, which is why I'm watching a lot of videos and trying to get a visual understanding. And right now, I'd probably want to look at that specific point in time of Roman history. Like I'm interested in all of it, but I think I would love to be just dropped in the middle of all that, just to really be able to put a face in a place and just yeah, super interested in just getting a good read on that. I don't know, just general Roman history. Like, don't you think it'd be so cool to just go like sit in the fucking Coliseum and watch like, Gladiator do gladiator things?
mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's one thing to read about. It's one thing to see sculptures and pictures about paintings. Like, dude, that's
You need
just
to get like a VR set.
like being able to actually see it, like a gladiator go hand to hand, sword to sword, fucking combat with another human being and to the death. Or like sometimes they would do like a gladiator versus multiple animals,
Yeah,
lions and
no,
shit.
that's insane.
Fuck, that's crazy. And then people just in the stands. Oh my, that's why I'm saying like they were insane people, but hey,
Shit worked out for them,
shit really worked out
but
for
it
them.
was the craziest it's ever been. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then even in that really long documentary, I found out that Julius Caesar's rule wasn't as long as I thought it was. Like he killed somebody else to then become the emperor, and then he ended up getting assassinated, obviously, not long after. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. When like reading that, I never would have been able to like fully grasp onto that idea. Reading about that in a history book is pretty straightforward. He did this, then this happened.
And it's all cause and effect.
Or what cause and effect? It's just like
Or no, what's the other one? What's the other one on aside from cause and there's another comparison thing like cause and effect, but it's something else.
oh feel like I know what you're
So
talking
like
about, but
action result or something like that
I don't know.
in those terms.
But like seeing their visual representation of it in the documentary was just like it had a bigger effect on me than if I were to read it in a textbook back in middle school. Because in middle school, you're doing these homework assignments, like, yeah, this happened. Okay, that happened. Whatever. And now it's like, damn, crazy. Yeah, that's what I would go with. Just something history related.
Yeah.
What would you do?
As much as I hate the ocean, because it terrifies me, and also because we literally know nothing about the ocean,
That's a good one right there.
I want to know more about that or space in terms of what else is out there. I don't
Well,
care about solar systems. I want to know about creatures.
yeah,
I want to know
honestly,
what lives.
I'd probably go that same route too. I think just our history as a planet, and specifically the Roman Jesus being alive times, is probably my greatest interest. But then after that, I'd probably go space, then ocean. Because, like you said, the
Yeah.
ocean is terrifying. We don't know what's down there.
We don't know
But,
shit.
like, space is so cool and beautiful. I would definitely want to see that first before I go down to the depths of the ocean and find some, like, alien booger monster.
That's what's crazy is like we've already seen so many creatures, like what we've already been able to find, and the fact that they're still not even putting like the slightest dent
Yeah.
into what the ocean is. Seeing how crazy and scary these animals are,
Yeah.
absolutely, that's
And
terrifying.
I don't know if you saw this, but recently, apparently, it was discovered that under our ocean somewhere in the world, there's another ocean under that.
Absolutely not. Nope. That's
Like,
terrifying.
I don't even like that's incomprehensible in my mind. Like, how did we find an ocean under the ocean? What the fuck does that even mean?
How? Who's? How is my
And
question.
then
Who's going down there? What are we
definitely,
sending?
I don't know if this is more ocean or land related, but getting to know more, or getting to know more slash the truth, quote unquote truth about Antarctica, the lost city of Atlantis. Like, there's just
Yeah,
cool shit ocean related. Hmm.
I definitely just want to know more about like the scary side of things. Like somebody tell me where Megalodon is. Like I don't want to
Is
see
he
it
still
because
out
that's
there?
terrifying. That I die of a heart attack. But I just want to know because like you know me and my conspiracy theories. I'm all for it.
Oh, you still have yet to brief me on
Yeah, I know. I haven't had the time
the moon
to
landing.
get my book together.
Your book? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had a whole composition
Yeah.
book, and now I got to start
I'm
over.
I'm still fully expecting a podcast
It'll
length
yeah,
presentation where in the end I'm still probably gonna call bullshit.
it'll definitely happen. It's just with the first time it took me the whole summer to get all my information. So give me some time. I got a child to take care of. I don't got much free time. I barely have time to brush my teeth and wipe my ass. So we'll
You
get to it, but there will definitely be a podcast on it because that was like one of the first things that I thought about when starting this podcast was to make a podcast about that. And it might be very, very long. It might not even be our normal length because it's gonna open up some conversations for sure.
yeah.
I also have something about 9/11, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Oh my lord. Well, you know what? Those conspiracy theories to me are potentially, depending what
Well,
route you go there, are is
no,
more conceivable than
there's
whatever you could say about.
my route was that I don't know who's listening to this, that it was planned and that there are things that the government was hiding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the route that I was alluding to.
Yeah,
I
because I
think.
don't really
Was
know
there something else?
what other theory there would be.
I feel like there might have been
So that
something
a
else.
ghost flew
Yeah,
the
I don't
plane
know.
through, like
I don't know.
that's the most
Yeah,
obvious.
that's stuff that you can do your weird research on the dark web about, and
Yeah.
then present it to
Have
me
you ever?
later.
Oh, have you ever been on the dark web?
I think so. Honestly, I
So
don't care to think
interesting.
right now. I really have to pee. I'm kind of done.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
finished.
All right.
You guys
Well,
can see my feet.
yeah. Anyways, to wrap up my answer, yeah, I would want to know more about things that I've done my research on and theories, and I just want to know what else is down in the ocean, but I also don't want to know. So,
Yeah.
yeah. That's my answer. Anyways, let's see, how long was this? Yeah, it's pretty average. Um, thanks for tuning in. I know we took a little break, but we are back. We have a little child, so it's not as easy to get around to some things, and we're also just tired.
Yeah.
There's a lot of we don't sleep in anymore. That's those days are over.
Yep. Saturday mornings, still waking up at basically the time I get up for work.
Yeah.
Well, maybe like 2 hours later, but still early.
I
Eight
mean, I
o'clock.
don't go back to sleep. I take that time to myself. And then I get him up at 8 o'clock. I leave his ass in there, but I'm up. Anyways, yeah, we are back to it. We are trying to get back on our grind of videos, but we have some exciting things coming up soon. Some fun videos within the next few weeks and adventures. Um,
Really? Oh,
so
yeah. Uh,
yes. Make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already to stay updated on that. Turn on those post notifications. Rate us 5 stars. Comment down anything that you have for us, ideas, comments, questions, whatever it may be. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Chowdy.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna go piss.